What's up, fight fans? How's everyone doing this morning? This is my Sunday morning it's about 5:45 a.m. Woke up early to catch the end of this Wembley Stadium card in the UK. There's about 90,000 people at Wembley. I know there's been an upset already. A lot of you picked Serenko. I didn't break that fight down. I told you guys I wasn't betting on any of these undercards. I did do a long parlay and kind of listen to some of you guys. So sometimes I listen to you guys, and sometimes I listen to yeah. You guys talked me into taking Serenko, but I'm a man of my word. My long parlay is dusted. I woke up and saw that Serenko lost. I didn't see the fight. But all my other picks, my method of victories, basically the ones I've gone really heavy on are about to take place. I have a prop bet about to take place with Okolie. And then obviously my bread and butter is the Usyk fight. My bread and butter where all the money is at. The other two cards going down, the BAM card in Frisco, Texas, and the Vegas card with Zoo and Fundora. The fights that I really went heavy on are the ones I featured on my channel, Usyk versus Dubois. But I know some of you guys put a lot of action on Serenko. Some of you guys put money on that Edmondson fight. I told you I wasn't rolling that way. From what I heard, I watched the last 4 rounds of the Edmondson fight, and it looks like that he might have got... I didn't see the whole fight, so I need you guys to tell me if that was a fair decision, Edmondson and Lappin. Parlay dead already. That long parlay boy got toasted. Yeah. But Serenko took a dive. Yeah, I'm not going to put anyone on blast, but I saw some of the boys, content creators, even did breakdowns on Serenko and Dackers. Like, they featured that fight. I was like, there's no way I'm featuring that fight. So that was kind of my saving grace. The only evidence of Dackers and Serenko on my channel was my long parlay that I posted in our members only group. So the regular subscribers, other than me telling you, the only evidence. So Lappin did win. Yeah, was that a close fight, Santiago? Yeah, PJ, I told you I wasn't messing with those 2 fights. Guys, if you haven't already, hit subscribe. The last few months have been awesome on the channel. New subscribers. If you see Mar the Prince, you see Boxing Fan, you see the boys with the blue star. Hit the link on my page. It says join. It's a couple bucks a month. You become a Johnny Says Boxing Insider. With that membership, you get a lot of perks on the channel. You get a lot of access to different features. But more importantly, guys, we launched, on the behest of you, I finally launched a Discord. It's going to take me a couple days to find how to use it, but there's already, I think, 17 of you in that Discord. Once you become a Johnny Says Insider, you get the link to the Discord. And what I'm seeing, I launched it last night. All I did was set it up. I woke up this morning, and there's already a conversation going on in there. So it seems to me a benefit of the Discord is allowing you guys to continue a long, continuous chat and be able to interact. So I think that's pretty rad. So that's live as well. Johnny Says Boxing Discord. You get access to that by joining the Insider group here on YouTube. It's only a couple bucks a month. But anyway, we got Okolie versus Lerena. Boys, do you have action on this? Let me know. I didn't feature this fight either. I didn't feature this fight, but I did do a prop bet ticket. John, are you in between? No, man, there's so much to talk about. Yeah, yesterday, guys, I went to interview Tony Mundine. Mate, it was such an amazing experience. It was such a awe-inspiring experience to be around. He's 74 years old, Tony Mundine is. So I'm about 5'11". He wasn't standing up. He's about an inch taller than me. We're almost the same size. I think he's a little bit taller than me, but mate, his hands are massive, and I have big hands. My hands are long. My dad was 6'4". I'm about 5'11". I have massive hands. When I was in 6th grade, I have a picture in 6th grade where I'm palming 2 basketballs, right? So I have big palms. Mundine's fists, and I have big hands. Mundine's fists were like that, dude. And I hung out with him for a couple hours. I brought my cameraman down there, and he's 74. We meet him at 8 a.m. He had already hit the heavy bag for an hour. He already did his calisthenics work for 30 minutes. He trains every single day for 55 years. It's insane. But yeah, I'm going to release that interview sometime next week. I have a lot of editing to do. We have Lerena. We have Okolie. You guys are taking Lerena. Let your bets come in. Let me know on the comments section. I didn't feature this fight on the channel. What's up, GOAT? I launched that Discord for you boys. Guys, as you see on the chat, GOAT has a blue star. Boxing Fan has a blue star. To get the blue star, join our Johnny Says Boxing group. Once you join our boxing group, you get access to the Discord, and you get access to all these really great minds in the sport of boxing, our betting, our parlays, our method of victories, excuse me. Lerena is about to walk out right now, the South African. We've seen him before. We've seen him in Australia before against Justice Hooney. And it's another one of these fights I did not feature on the channel. I think Gary featured it on his 3D. I got burned in the past with Okolie. It's hard for me to get past that Okolie versus Chris Billum-Smith performance. I know it was a while ago. Call me a petty bitch. I hold grudges. Same reason with Brandon Figueiredo. That performance against Fulton, that was enough for me not to bet on Figueroa versus Joette, but I know you guys have action on that. I took a sneaky prop bet though. Okolie versus Lerena. All I need is 1 knockdown. That's all I need. So I'm watching this with eyes. Yeah, PJ. All we need is a knockdown. A knockout works too, as long as there's a count. Jordan in the house. Guys, wherever you're tuning in, checking in, let me know where you're coming from. We got a busy day of fights. It's Sunday morning here in Sydney, Australia. It's Saturday night to you guys in America. Wherever you're tuning in, I say welcome. The channel is growing, and it's because of you boys. Kingdom Life in the house. Appreciate all the support. Yep. XL Pedro, Bam Cafu. Let's get that knockdown prop. I got money on that too, brother. I got Bam on the money line on a lock parlay. My locks this week were like, we already hit in Australia. So I got to keep reminding people. My boxing week of calling the fight started Wednesday night in Australia. We hit a big ticket there. So one of my locks started in Australia. The rest of them were here. So we got Bam on the money line. We have I just woke up, so excuse my mind. You guys are literally the first people I'm speaking to, so my mind isn't going yet. So Bam on the money line. I have Usyk on the money line. Let me check the tickets. It only comes out to be $1.71. But $1.61, 10,000 gets you 6,000 back. Yeah, Picasso and Pacheco. So Bam, Picasso, Pacheco, and Usyk. I also like Gary Russell Jr. on the money line and Mark Magsayo too. Seeing that got admitted to Harvard University this week. Did he really? He definitely looks like a smart kid. Unicorn, I got you, bro. I'm going to be doing, if you guys are new to my channel, I'm going to do live commentary. It's one of my favorite things to do. So Okolie's walking out right now. His last fight was December 7th, 2024. It is insane what Okolie looks like at heavyweight versus was it Cruiser? Wow, he looks totally different, guys. Yeah, I'm just picking Gary on the money line. And, you know, a part of that is me going against my dad's advice. Bet with your wallet, not with your heart. We haven't seen him in a few years. Gary Russell, mate, it wasn't that long ago where this guy's hand speed. Was it Bridger? whatever weight class he was in. I could look it up right now, but I'm being lazy. Remember, he looks like a different guy here at heavyweight in terms of like how much weight he's put on. This should be a fun fight. Back to Gary Russell, his hand speed at his best, some of the best hands in the sport of boxing, hands down. All right, the announcers in the middle, all the corners are in the middle. That pretty green belt. I don't know. I don't agree with that. Do you? Money Meats checking in. Yeah, the Russells live in the gym, man. That hands. One of my favorite back and forths on social media. Do you guys remember when Gary and Bud Crawford were going back and forth? I don't know if Russell was doing. I don't know if they were doing it on a live stream. Ham cam in the house. Damu Brat. So the fight is about to start. Okolie and Lerena. I know a lot of you boys on the channel have action on this fight. I took a knockdown prop. Yeah. So I'm watching Okolie versus Lerena with the eyes of, I need one knockdown. As soon as we get that knockdown, we're good. One knockdown in this fight. Let's see what the prop is. And I know a lot of you boys like the live bet. What's up, Terrell Fearon? Fearon, appreciate you joining the Boxing Insider group. Once you join the Insider group, go to our members-only post section, and you'll get the link to our Discord. The Discord is brand new. You guys asked for it. You've been asking me for weeks. Johnny started Discord. And I'm not as tech savvy as you guys might think. So the reason why I was so hesitant was like, damn, I don't know if I want to start another app. I don't know if I want to download another app on my phone. So, but here we go. Okay, it was Cruiser. What's up, Pedro? Yeah, I thought it was Cruiser. Lorena's 31-3. Goat was just talking about how in the heavyweight division, they got Okolie in the top 10, ranked above Justice Hooney. We've seen Justice is a great fighter, man. He just got stopped late. We live streamed that fight when that was going down. And when Justice got caught against, in his last fight, I said that fight's going to haunt him the rest of his career, being stopped like that late when you were fighting such a wonderful fight. Yeah, 100%. Could you imagine being Hooney, his camp, his corner? He was right there. He had he literally and guys, it wasn't an effort situation. It wasn't a physical situation. It was a miscalculation. It was a lapse in focus and concentration. It was a sway from the game plan, and it was sort of an ego move and a low IQ move. End of the 10th or 11th, and you're literally a couple minutes away from getting the biggest win of your career against Fabio in Fabio's backyard, and you play his game. Literally Fabio's only chance at winning that fight was landing that, and he gave it to him. Oh, dude, salty. I'm still salty because I lost a money line bet. I lost some money on that. But here we go. Both guys shaking it out. Seconds have left the ring. Seconds out. Okolie. They meet in the middle. Round one is upon us. Let me know who you guys are taking. Okolie looks like a totally different guy. This is for the silver heavyweight championship, the WBC. Guys, traditionally when you win that silver in any weight class, you then are put in line to fight next for the belt. So this is going to propel one of these guys into a title shot, allegedly. You know how it's supposed to work. Unless Jake Paul gets a title shot. That was a joke, but hell, you never know in boxing. We have Manny Pacquiao at 46 about to fight Barrios for a title, and that's insane. So why the hell do we even have belts or rankings at that point? Okolie's starting off in the middle, popping that jab. He has a pretty decent jab. I just can't believe how different he looks, his physicality. It just makes you think, how much weight was he cutting to make Cruiser? You know what I'm saying? Because this dude looks like the guy who was fighting a cruiser was not a lot of body fat on him. You know, the big shoulders. I wonder if it was a. I don't know him. I don't know much about his career. I know the Brits. There's a lot of people in the UK who have high hopes for him. I wonder if it was a durability issue or, you know, from the looks of this, he must have been cutting a whole bunch of weight. Lerena's just kind of standing there eating a jab. This is southpaw versus orthodox. They're kind of playing the jab game at this moment. Lerena has allowed Okolie to kind of get comfortable landing the jab. And then with about a minute and a half left, Lerena tried to counter that jab in the middle. Not too much success, but Okolie was keen on it, and then he clinched. So far what I'm seeing, Okolie's taking the center. He's trying to establish the jab to set up his backhand. Lerena, no head movement. You know what you're going to get from Lerena. You kind of have to get a big old baseball bat and hit him in the head to kind of make him take a step back. What did I miss? Everything by John. What do you mean the Shakur? Did I miss something? Guys, I just woke up. Is Shakur injured? I didn't hear that. What did I miss? Are you saying Shakur's injured? I'm not seeing. I'm not seeing that anywhere. Shakur's injured. Oh, I haven't seen it reported anywhere. What is it, hand? I mean, we knew he has really hand issues, which is really common. One of my buddies who he's kind of become he was a gym owner. You guys probably know who Tony Jeffries is. Tony Jeffries used to run, I think he still does in LA. His main gym used to be in Santa Monica, Box and Burn. He was a British, I think he won a bronze medal in the Olympics. He started his career, I think, 9-0, and he had to retire because of hand injuries. It happens all the time, if that's what you're referring to. I'm trying to pull it up. I'm not seeing anybody reporting on a Shakur injury, but I'm not surprised, man. It's a blood sport. Yeah, that's an Okolie round 1-0. And guys, if you went the Okolie route, he was $1.49 on the money line. Well, I don't know if it's back to back. I just think this is just his entire career. There's a lot of guys who fight their entire career with injuries, and they either, the injuries either aren't as serious enough to have to get surgery, or they take a lot of time in between fights and not tell the media about them. Sometimes you see guys with a career where you're like, wow, he's not active. A lot of times they're just trying to heal up injuries. This is a brutal sport, guys. Not everybody, you'd be shocked with how many of your favorite fighters go into the fight injured. When we're talking about hands, though, all the little tiny bones in the hands, the knuckles, I didn't hear anything about it. Lerena, guys, Mr. Unicorn, Lerena is looking flat-footed. That's how he fights. He's looking slow. Right now his game plan is, it's only the second round. What Lerena is doing is standing in front of Okolie. To me, it looks like he's trying to see what Okolie's going to sit down on. Neither guy is really investing too much into their shots. Okolie is taking the front foot, and Lerena is trying to counter him with that classical southpaw versus orthodox style, Okolie being the orthodox fighter. Lerena and him are having this front foot battle. The entire time, Okolie is trying to keep his lead foot on the outside of Lerena's lead foot, and Lerena is trying to do the same. The reason for that is Okolie is trying to walk Lerena into his backhand here. So if I'm orthodox, the southpaw is here. You want to catch the southpaw coming in and countering, but it's opposite because there's a bit of a head clash. Okolie so far is leading the dance. You go, I go, you go, I go, that sort of thing. They're not punching together. Nice up top by Okolie. Lands a nice body rip. With about a minute left in the second round, Okolie works the body for the first time in the fight. Lerena has something to say to the ref. The ref breaks him up. I think the ref is warning Lerena for clinching. It looked like Okolie's trying to introduce, or headbutting. Okay, Okolie's trying to introduce his back uppercut from the clinch, but he's throwing it. This isn't really a. If you guys are really into technique or flashy athleticism or explosivity or a complex offensive game or traps, this isn't really going to be your fight. What's happening here is just sort of like, it's going to come down to the tougher guy. It's, all right, they're trying to mix it up here. 10 seconds left in the second. It's going to open up. Yeah. Okay, the boys are opening up a bit more now. We'll see how the rounds progress. Okay, that's it. And Lerena lands a punch after the bell. So what we saw in that second round was Okolie attempting to open up his body punching game. Lerena's trying to depend on gas and Okolie power drama after the fourth. Lerena has no head movement. Yeah. Yeah, that's a fair analysis. Right now Okolie's fighting Lerena. This is the co-main in Wembley. There's about 90,000 people at the stadium in the UK. And if you think Lerena was about a $2.25 underdog. 100 would have got you your money back plus 125. Okolie was $1.49. 100 on him on the money line would have got you your money back plus 49 bucks. I stayed away from featuring this fight on the channel. I never bet on Okolie on the money line, but I do have a little bit of sneaky action for the fight to have one knockdown. So going into the third, we'll see how this opens up. The last 30 seconds of the second round was more promising if you have a knockdown prop. The first round, as they often do, was more of a feeling out round. Lerena now starts the third round on his front foot for the first time, and now he's forcing Okolie back. Okolie's trying to keep the center by punching with him. You know what? It's starting to open up. We're going to see how the gas tanks play out. This is only a 10-round fight. And we know at this weight class, all it takes is one. Lerena, you know, for his shortcomings, he's tough as nails. He keeps a defensive-minded high guard in the strike zone. And you know what? He's a kind of an operator in there who knows what he could do and what he can't do. He doesn't really force a lot of things. He doesn't fight outside of his skill set. So a guy like Okolie, we've seen Okolie get frustrated before in his career, especially when he was younger, in terms of forcing things, looking frustrated in there, putting himself in vulnerable situations to get hit. Okolie's definitely the more active guy here. Ron Boy Smith, he did. Ron Boy was there. Appreciate you. Appreciate the setup, guys. Ron is the guy. Ron is our buddy who set up the chat with Tony, and he did that. I mean, I don't think people understand that era, that era of middleweights, and how legendary Emil was, and how legendary Carlos Monzon. I mean, you'd like to think boxing fans all across the board would know those names. Benny Briscoe. If you guys know anything about boxing, you know about the legends who come out of Philadelphia. Benny Briscoe was a 5'7", sort of like blueprint of what Marvin Hagler ended up becoming, this sort of marauding big puncher. And Briscoe was brutal with it. And yeah, so Tony Mundine, all before the age of 24 in a span of 12 months, he beat Emil Griffith in Paris. Then he fought Benny Briscoe in Paris. And then he fought Carlos Monzon for the world title in Buenos Aires, Argentina. All from a guy, a young fighter from Australia in the 1970s. Fascinating stuff. But yeah, that interview will come out later this week. I'm editing it as we speak. Guys, there's 20 seconds left in the third round. A little bit more action than the first two. Like I said, what you're seeing is a game plan. Okolie is standing in the middle, trying to break down that high guard of Lerena with his straight punches, and Lerena is trying to time Okolie and counter him. Because it's southpaw versus orthodox, there's been some sloppy clinch work, and with that switch stance matchup, you often see headbutts just based on where your lead hand is and where your sort of footwork placement is. Like I said, if the orthodox fighter versus southpaw, he constantly wants to keep that front foot on the outside of the southpaw's front foot, just so his backhand will be in line. And so when they're having that fight within the fight, the front foot battle, if that front foot gets on the inside and then they kind of crash in, that's where you kind of sometimes see headbutts. You see the headbutts a lot more with the ladies, but they definitely happen with the men too. And you also see a lot more headbutts at the lower level, just due to fighters being so amped up and not really having a total grasp of their balance, distance, timing, and range. So you just see, in the lower levels, a lot of this happening. Kingdom Life making his prediction. Fundora by UD. Guys, put your predictions in the comments section below. How do you see today going? There's a lot of big fights. We got Frisco, Texas. That's Bam Rodriguez versus Cafu. There's some exciting fights on that undercard as well. Diego Pacheco versus Trevor McCumbee. We featured that fight. There's another headbutt here at the start of the fourth. We got Vegas, obviously, Timmy versus Fundora 2. We got the return of Manny Pacquiao, 46 years old. Skipping the queue, really. Jumping the line at 46 to fight for the world title against 30-year-old champ Mario Barrios. And that's a fight that I didn't feature. That's a fight that I'm staying away from. I don't like the idea of a living legend at 46 coming back. It just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm not saying I'm not going to watch it. It's just I didn't feature it on my channel, and I'm not gambling on that fight. I have my own ethics regarding our sport. Like I look at Pacquiao's fight kind of adjacent to a Jake Paul fight, meaning that it's definitely a real fight. These are real fighters. It's not a farcical fight like Jake Paul. But I mean, in terms of like what's really going on, why is this fight taking place? Do we really want to see it? We didn't ask for it. Is this a cash grab? Why is Manny fighting? All of these things. So I'm not messing with it. Mark in the house. Barrios for the win. Yeah, Mario Barrios, 6 feet tall, 147, 30 years old. When he's cooking, he could crack. He's tough as nails. The fight against Abel Ramos, he landed some big shots. He got caught. It wasn't the most exciting fight of fights. But Barrios, man, he's not coming in there to respect Pacquiao. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see, especially you mix in that with Mario's or Manny's fight style. That physical, athletic style. He took so much damage in his career, guys. If you're an advocate of protecting the fighter's health and wanting sort of retired fighters to have some sort of insurance or pension, whatever it is, you don't want to see old guys come back fighting young guys. It's not an old man sport. It's a young man sport. All right, the ref is warning him again. It's a headbutt issue. We got about 45 seconds in the fourth round. This round has been sloppy so far. The boys are up for it. They're standing in the middle, but their timing's off. They're crashing in. The ref has warned them in the second round and now in the fourth round for headbutts. But like I said, you're going to get that with this ortho versus Southie matchup. "30 seconds left in the fourth. I want to see Okolie work the body more. Another headbutt by Lerena. Not the most exciting fight, but anything can happen in these fights at this division. One punch could bring the crowd to their feet. Maybe 3-1. Fourth round over. This is only a 10-round fight. What do you guys think of Conor Benn, Chris Eubank Jr.? I definitely don't want to see that fight again. They're trying to hype that fight up. It was a The first one was a fun fight with all the storylines with Senior, with Nigel. It was a fun fight, but we already did all of it, and you got to see kind of what are we gonna call it? Do we? Is it fair to categorize Connor and Chris as fringe world level? It was. It wasn't. It was just a brawl. It was just a brawl. They're trying to hype up the rematch. I actually don't want to see the rematch. If Connor wants to really make a go of it, he should try to stay at 47 and see what he could do there. He's had a mixed bag. I mean, I think the best Connor was against Chris Algieri. I don't think Connor's ever been able to duplicate that performance against Algieri, mate. Granted, Chris wasn't in his total prime, but Chris still wasn't shot yet. And Chris is a guy, world champion. Chris is known for the fight against Pacquiao. Chris fought EJ. Chris fought one of the most famous fights was the Rush Siberian Rocky fight. Damn, my mind's cloudy right now because I haven't really been up yet. But anyway, that version of Connor versus Algieri, I don't think we've seen again, and I know a lot of his haters are going to tell you why. Chris flew across that ring. Yeah, that was a bad knock, and I actually like Connor after that because if you rewatch that knockout, Connor actually showed some discipline and sort of mercy because he could have hit Chris again on the way down. Chris was stuck on the ropes out cold, and Connor kind of cocked back and didn't throw the punch. And I was like, man, I like that about him because I personally am friends with Chris, and he's a good dude. And that was a weird fight for him to take anyway. Eubank to fight Shiraz. I want to see Shiraz fight. If Pacheco gets through Macumbi, I know Turkey's not going to do it. Maybe. Let's say Pacheco has a viral moment and starches Macumbi. I'm talking viral moment. Knocks him out cold, burns the mic up, calls him out. Diego versus Shiraz, in my opinion, is the fight to make if Diego comes out. I think Diego is more of the guy that I think he is. Oh, Okolie kind of hit above the ear. He might have just tripped. I'm very impressed with how Shiraz handled Berlanga. I just rewatched that fight yesterday. All we remember is Berlanga getting stopped and getting dropped, but it was a decent fight. It was a decent fight. Berlanga had his moments. It was a decent fight. It was a weird decision for Berlanga to make to stop moving his feet and to stay with his back against the ropes and try to trade with Shiraz once he was hit. Guys, when you're coming up through and Berlanga had an amateur career. You know what I mean? It's not like he was a late starter pro. One of the first things you're taught when you're coming up is when you get stung, when you get buzzed, is to clinch or move. Don't punch. The last thing you want to do when you get stung or buzzed, if you're looking to survive, is punch with your opponent. Yeah, 4-1 Okolie. But that's a split-second decision that it's easier to sit back as a guy on his couch to make because when you're in a dogfight and the chaos is all around, it's tough to make those decisions. Yeah, so I'm really excited. I'm watching that Diego Pacheco fight with some keen eyes because I think that at 24 years old, 6'4", 80, I think 78, 79-inch reach, 75% career knockout to win ratio. I mean, he already has wins. That Steven Nelson win looks good. That Manny Gallegos win looks good. He stopped Sulecki. The way they've been moving Pacheco, in my eyes, has been on point. All right, guys, we're going into the fifth. Yeah, Lerena. Are they really? No, they're talking like this isn't a great performance by either guy. We're at the start of the sixth round. 30 seconds gone. Lerena now is trying to take the center. Okolie's trying to keep him off. It's just Okolie's punch. All of Okolie's punches look sluggish. There's no snap on him. There's no snap. It's all, and now he's starting to arm punch, arm. And when he throws his body rip, his lead uppercut, he's here. He's not here. I'm petty though, just because I coach it. Like I love the technique side of boxing. So when I'm watching it, I'm not being too critical. I want to see I like a technician in there, somebody who does all of the basic techniques flawless. You don't in this modern era, you don't really see a lot of technicians. There's a lot of techniques that it seemed like have been lost in this era. Body punching is one of them. You don't see many fighters investing to the body. There's certain camps that are known for it. Robert Garcia, the guys who come out of Garcia's camp are good body punchers. Bam Rodriguez, Virgil Ortiz. So when I'm watching a fight, that's something you could kind of get a cheap sort of kudos point if you're watching with your mates is like, invest in the body, especially at this weight class, the heavies. These guys are big boys. They could take a lot of punishment up top. You got to break them down to the body. We got about a minute left in the sixth. Yeah, this looks like a domestic level fight, right? This looks like a domestic level, and I told you I don't bet domestic level heavyweights, but Okolie's being heralded as the next in line at heavyweight, at least from the UK fans. And they've been on Okolie though for like 5 years. Okolie was a cruiser. Watch that commentary. Go watch don't watch it, but we streamed it, Okolie versus CBS. And the commentary has always been high on him. Yeah, you guys are making me second guess my knowledge. I didn't call you out on it because I don't want to make anybody ever feel inadequate. But somebody on the live stream tried to say that Okolie beat CBS. Chris Billum-Smith beat that ass. I didn't want to check you on that, but we live streamed that fight. Yeah, Okolie got beat up in that fight. And then I think it was after that he moved up. So he fights Chris Billum-Smith. He weighs 198 against CBS. He weighed in his last fight at 262 pounds. Isn't that insane? No, he didn't. He didn't fight Chris Billum-Smith early in his career. I know you're not talking about amateurs. His second fight was against Lucas Rucic. Why? It's not on BoxRec. Unless BoxRec scrapped it. Oh, you're getting mixed up with Reactpo. I'm not going to clown you, though. Yeah, heaven sent. I've done that before, too, mate. I've done that before, too. I'm not getting mixed up with Reactpo. But, yeah. I've done that before, dude. In a live stream 2 weeks ago. Pedro, it's not just you, mate, so I'm not gonna clown. I did that 2 weeks ago. I got mixed up with Okolie and Rigmore, too, on the live stream. And I think it was Chilltown who called me on it. I was like, my bad. Yeah, Okolie, he looked bad against Chris Billum-Smith. He fought Billum-Smith weighing 199. Granted, he's a heavyweight now. Last fight, Okolie weighed in at 266. It says that he weighed in yesterday at 237. He doesn't look good. I don't like him at this weight. I don't like the midsection. I don't like that extra weight. I don't know if they're trying to take, use the reasoning of more body fat percentage equals more durability. But you got to think about, big counter from Lerena. I don't know. The thing is, Lerena's not doing enough to win this fight. 90 seconds left in the seventh. His punches do look sharper, though, at this point with 90 seconds left in the seventh. Okolie now is taking a step back. But Lerena doesn't throw enough. I mean, what's his volume? He pot shots. He's just trying to find one shot, pop, and done. But I do like Lorena's body language in terms of the optic, what he looks like. And Okolie is now on the back foot trying to use lateral movement. Okolie is trying to counter. At this point, it looks like my knockdown prop bet is going to be cooked. I didn't go too heavy on it. I didn't invest in this fight. I kind of rolled the dice on the odds, the heavies, knockdown prop, but neither one of these guys, it doesn't look like they're going to land anything significant. 30 seconds left in the 7th. Yeah, brawler. Yeah, FX coaching. I know Gary 3D Boxing broke down that Sorenko fight. I stayed away, mate. Havelock in the house. Guys, if you haven't joined our Johnny Says Boxing Insider group, the link is in the comments section. If you see all the boys with the blue star, it's a couple bucks a month. And then you get access to our Discord. Because you guys requested it, we started a Discord last night. I don't even know how to use it, but I put the link in our Johnny Says Boxing Insider group. So once you join, you get the link. And I woke up this morning. I think there's 17 of you in there now. My locks for this weekend, we hit one of the locks on the Australia card. We hit big on the parlay. Today I have these are just money line. It's $1.61. So this is for the big punters. Some of the boys, 10K will get you 6K. Bam on the money line. I have Picasso on the money line, Pacheco on the money line. Bam, Pacheco, Picasso, Usyk. Yeah, let's not too impressed with this fight. Like I said, it's my Sunday morning, so I woke up. It's 6:30 a.m. right now here in Sydney. I woke up with about 3 rounds left in that Edmondson-Lappin fight. From what everyone was saying, they gave Lappin a decision. I don't know if that was a fair call. The announcers were making it sound like Edmondson did enough to win. And before that, I know some of you boys picked Sorenko, and I guess Sorenko lost that fight. I didn't see that fight either. I stayed away. 8th round, 2 minutes and 20 seconds left. When you have Turkey Al-Ashik ringside, right? This is something I'd ask both corners. Say what you will about Turkey Al-Ashik. You guys know where I stand on him. Like I'm not about to sit here and call this fool his excellency. I'm not the biggest fan of Al-Ashik. I don't like the way he goes about. It's not shocking, right? You don't need me to explain why you might think that I'm not a big fan of him. But my point is, when you got a guy like Okolie and a guy like Lerena, who has the opportunity to fight as the co-main on the Usyk Dubois card, with Turkey there, all the eyes of boxing are there, with 90 seconds left in the 8th round, I'd like to ask each camp, what was your game plan going into this? Because I'm not all about blood sporting, but early on I could see Okolie's game plan was just, jab, stay in the middle, and, out volume Lerena, and Lerena was kind of willing to just stay there and counter. But now, as the fights progress, neither guy's punching with each other. They're not punching with each other. They're not really, sitting down on anything. That was a big lead hook by Okolie. My point is, neither one is looking like they're pressing to get a stoppage. And we know, sort of how vocal Al-Ashik has been regarding promoting fighters and promoting fights with a certain style. Kivo, what's up, buddy? Yeah, the whole ring card girl debate, and I'm not trying to this isn't a misogynistic comment. Like, the longer you know me, if you know me personally, I grew up in a house of women. Me and my father, but then my mom and I have three sisters. So my dad raised me from the minute I could remember to respect and treat women properly, right? So I don't put up with any. I'm in the past any of my guy friends who, you know what I'm saying. So my point is, but that being said, to not have ring card girls is insane to me. You know, because where do you draw the line then in terms of cultural differences? So it's one of these things that it's part of the entertainment. I want on my first podcast in 2015. It was called the Vision Board Podcast. I was interviewing everybody: fighters, scientists, authors, and a lot of UFC fighters at the time, a lot of boxers at the time, guys, retired boxers at the time. Larry Holmes was on my show, George Foreman was on my show. From the UFC side of things, Stipe Miocic at the time, Carlos Condit, these sort of guys. Bruce Buffer was on my show, and that led me to interviewing the ring card girls. So I interviewed Chrissy Blair. I interviewed Chrissy Blair. She's still a ring card girl, an octagon girl for the UFC. She's the blonde one. She's been there forever. She doesn't age. Beautiful girl. And I sat down with her for about 45 minutes to talk to her. And, asking her the question, like, these are like, just like, remove the gender. This is an entrepreneur. She, photographer, model. She had a book at the time in 2016. And it's kind of like to just totally disregard the fact that it's a platform for a woman to also kind of have an opportunity to be seen in a specific way, not as a fighter, but in a different specific way. And for Turkey to come at it from a perspective of minimizing that just to the optic of their hot girls, he's doing exactly what he's not trying to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's such a hypocrisy. And we know what comes with whatever sort of belief systems that you believe in regarding, I'm not going to get too political on this, but my point is, yeah, we need I'm a fan of ring car girls, dude, and it's not for the perverted way. Oh, Lerena lands a big shot. Okolie clinches. That's probably the best shot of the fight. Okolie just came in with his hands down, got caught with a backhand. A minute 40 left in the 9th round. He's fine, though. He's not injured. But it was a big shot. I mean, Okolie looks like he outweighs Lerena here by at least 30 pounds. 90 seconds left in the 9th. Left hook by Okolie. Okolie seems like one of these guys that if you were his handlers, he would frustrate you. Because we're probably looking at a guy who probably is a Superman in the gym. He seems like a guy in his sparring who just washes his sparring partners. He seems like a guy who is, talented, gifted, physically gifted. And then sometimes he has these performances. That's why I don't bet on him. You see him have these performances, and it kind of looks to me that, sometimes he doesn't put it all together. And just from what I've seen in the last few years, at least since 2023 in his fights, he just seems like a guy that would frustrate me. if I was his coach. He does a lot of, I don't know if it's his body language or his effort or his output. Maybe it's just him. It seems like there's always a gear that he's unwilling to go to. Okay. I didn't know he was with Madonna. What? See, guys, I'm an old head. I stay out of the pop culture stuff. I did not know Lawrence Okolie dates Madonna. Did I read that right, or is there a different Madonna on TikTok that I don't know about? You know what I'm saying? Did I read that right? All right, we got one round left, Unicorn. I got Okolie up. We'll say it's going into the 10th. I don't know. 5-3, 6-2. What is the Ice Spice? There's somebody named Ice Spice. They combine 2 street drugs to make a stage name. Because we know what ice is, but growing up in, especially when I spent my 20s in Long Beach, Spice was a synthetic marijuana that they were selling at the 7-Elevens. This is insane. This was like 2006. Granted, you could get, I had a weed card in 2003 living in Long Beach, 2004. Ice Spice is a famous artist and a girl everyone's. What? Ice Spice is a famous artist. Everyone. Thank God. I'm too old for that. I don't know no Ice Spice and that name alone. I need some. At least some clever Ice Spice. What? I thought you were kidding. What is the junk? Ice. Who is the junk? Ice. All right, guys. Round 10. Okolie's winning. Yeah, Okolie's up. I mean, we could be kind and say 6-3. 6-3, PJ? Goat, how you scoring this? I might vomit, Havelock. I might vomit. Yeah, right? 2 minutes left. I mean, is 6-3 a reach here? I think 6-3 might be kind. We'll say it's 6-3. How you guys scoring this? 6-3 Okolie. Knockdown prop. Starched. No knockdowns. It's always a risk when you go for these prop bets. I never put anything significant on the prop bets, but we do it because I know it makes watching the fights more entertaining. Yeah, 6-3 would probably be nice, right? Yeah, the fight's going the distance for sure. 90 seconds. I mean, the popular bet at $1.49 was Okolie on the money line. I stayed away from it. He's doing enough to win. Not really putting himself in danger. I just don't think Lerena, like, no shade on Lerena. I don't think Lerena has the gear. I don't think he has that next gear. But he definitely looks like the more willing guy. It's just a case of Okolie being the better boxer. You know what I mean? Lerena is the less skilled boxer, but he's the more keen guy to because he has a puncher's chance. And Okolie is the more skilled boxer, and he's kind of just decided to just win the fight on points, which is a smart business decision. Well, for your health. Up until Turkey Al-Sheikh put his checkbook in the boxing ring, I would have said it was a smart business decision to do this too. That's a nice backhand by Lerena. But in terms of getting big fights, we know that Al-Sheikh has been really vocal about not setting up guys who aren't really going out there to stop their opponent. So on that end, it's not really the best of business decisions if you're looking at it from that perspective. But Okolie has his own handlers in the UK. Frank Warren? Am I wrong with that? The sauce. He's 32 years old now. Damn, I remember when he was 26. Not the most entertaining fight, boys. It's over. Okolie by decision. UD. I don't know what the announcers are saying. They can't be... Guys, is the commentary stoked about that Okolie performance? What are they saying? Yeah, Queensberry. Are they saying that, like, that's a great performance? What are they saying? I'm interested. The last thing I want to do is get a copyright strike by even putting the volume up. So I'm not... I never listen to the fights anyway. I watch them. Yeah, Heaven Sent. I don't think you're too off base with that, bro. All right, we got Usyk next. No, they're about to read the cards, but Okolie won that fight. 7-3. I think 7-3 is being actually pretty kind. Same thing. Yeah, Heaven Sent. I've had Joseph Brown on the channel before. Heaven Sent. If you go to my channel, go to playlist, go to interviews, you'll see my interview with Joseph Brown, the prodigy. young teenager out of Canada who trains with Pacheco. He trains everywhere, but he trains with Pacheco. Yeah, they're not robbing Okolie. Yeah, DJ. Yeah, DJ. We started last fight. Frampton. Isn't that Frampton's next? I think that was Frampton next to Lennox Lewis. My old boxing coach fought Frampton in I think it was Ireland. He got that ass beat, but he fought him for world title. Action Jackson, Luke Jackson. He was when I moved to Sydney in 2013. He was my first boxing coach since I was 15. So I boxed from the time I was really young. He's just really short. Algieri's about 5'9". Okolie won the fight, unanimous. That's how I scored it. That 22-1 with 16 knockouts on paper. You know, on paper that's a good record. He's gonna get big. He's gonna get a title shot. But I mean, I think he has a torn bicep. It looks like that Okolie had a torn bicep at the very end. They're in his corner. He wins by decision. He goes like this. And whenever you see, so the bicep tendon, when you tear that tendon, it either tears here or tears here. And when it tears here, it falls and you see this little lump. Look at Pitbull's bicep. Pitbull's never had his bicep fixed. Every time I watch Isaac Cruz fight, I'm like, damn, this dude still didn't get his bicep tendon fixed. Pitbull, I think it's his right hand, his right arm. When you look at his biceps torn, and you see it hanging there. But it looks like that's at least what Okolie looked like he was complaining about. Guys, we got the main event coming. Bama. Guys, if you haven't already, hit subscribe, like this video. You see some of the boys have the blue star. They join our Johnny Says Boxing Insider group on YouTube. It's a couple bucks a month. It really helps me out. It supports the channel. It gives you guys more access to myself, accessibility, more access to the betting, also access to our Discord. We started the Discord last night, before I went to bed. I have no idea how to run it. I just put the link up for the VIP members, and I think there's 17 or 20 of you boys in there now. So what I'm learning from you guys is that it gives you guys an opportunity to communicate with each other and not rely on me, which is great. It keeps our community growing from that perspective. So if you want to help the channel out, become a Boxing Insider, get more access to myself, more access to the channel, and then join the Discord. We got the main event. I'm not finding anything about this Shakur Stevenson injury, by the way. You guys said that Turki Al-Sheikh said he was injured. I mean, we know that he struggles with the hands. Boxing fans. So you guys can access the Discord without me. That's awesome. Tyrell Farron. Appreciate you, Tyrell. Terrell Farron. Appreciate you, boys. Like, this is what we're doing. This is what my goal was with my YouTube channel, was to, over time, create a place where we talk real boxing with real boxing heads. And the last thing we want is an echo chamber. So we don't always agree on things. We don't have to agree on all of our picks. But the last thing a real boxing head wants is dealing with casuals. You know what I'm saying? And the casuals get the message pretty quickly here that this isn't that chat for casuals, because they'll get called out. PA Showbiz is a sellout. Shakur was on Cigar Tide the other day, said he heard. Yeah, okay. I mean, it's frustrating because. All right, boxing. All right, nice. Salute, Johnny. Salute, chat. Subriel. Guys, did you see the photo with Subriel and GAR? Matias versus Gary Antoine Russell. Let's go. Unify at 140. Let's go. Subriel versus GAR. Make that fight, Turkey. Make that fight now. I mean, Subriel's not getting any younger. How old's Matias now? 35? hopefully they don't age him out. But I mean, he's already 35 with that style. I mean, he does have a lot of volume, but it's not like he's not on his toes. So I think Subriel could get away with that marauding style for a few more years and still be at his peak. Mar the Prince, mate, it looks like it's a genetic thing. You know what I mean? It looks like it's a genetic thing. Andy Hiroko would be a good fight. Haven't sent. Good call. Hitchens, dude, 140 is a fun division. And we predicted it on the channel going into the Hitchens versus George fight. I said that the division will become much more exciting if Hitchens stops George. If Hitchens has his viral moment. I always keep bringing that up because that's important, because that was my logical reasoning for Hitchens, because I'm high on Hitchens in terms of his technique. I'm a technical guy. I love his jab. I love his speed. I was going into that George fight as a believer of him being really, really good, and a lot of people not realizing that yet because he hadn't had his moment. And I was like, if Hitchens goes in and gets his moment, his viral moment, he makes that 140-pound division even more exciting. And now you mix that with Matias getting his belt back and all that comes with Subriel, even though I had Puello winning by 2 rounds. But and you mix that with Liam Paro, his performance against Jonathan Navarro a month ago in Queensland. Paro is a real player at 140 still, former champion. There are some Andy Hiroko fun matchups to make at 140. So yeah, we'll see. What happens. And just because Puello lost his belt, maybe you go Puello and Paro. I don't know. Who knows? There's a lot of fights to make at 40. I'm here. What's Teo up to? Come on, Teo. What's Teo up to? Koki. Yeah, I'm not gonna beat that dead horse anymore. But you're right. I mean, I'm not mad with Subriel getting the belt back either. Usyk, let's go. Yeah, Teo said that. Yeah, I don't listen to anything Teo says. Great athlete. I want to see Teo fight more. Still young, too. What a talent. Teo, what a talent. Like, the things in terms of, like, what he gets away with in the ring due to his athleticism, you mix that with his techniques, fun to watch. Fun to watch. GAR, of course he wants that Puello rematch. I mean, I know styles make fights, and GAR matches up much better with a guy who comes forward than a guy like Puello, who is making him think a lot more. 140 to have a tournament. Let's go. Super 6, mate. Andre Ward. Wasn't that Ward? Serge Ibaka? Bring the tournaments back. Was Arthur Abraham? Was it Arthur Abraham? Lopez Matias part. There we go, Koki. Put you in charge. Put Koki in charge. Come on. Wembley's going crazy. Jermaine, I'm a fan of Jermaine. Every time Jermaine Ortiz fights, his nickname's literally the technician. Yeah. Dude, every time Jermaine Ortiz, and the thing I like about Jermaine Ortiz is, he's turning the volume up with his offensive style. Great, dude. He's one of my favorite fighters to watch. Who else is there? Who's the kid who got stopped against Garcia? Oscar Duarte. I mean, say what you will. Duarte has looked like a different fighter since the Ryan Garcia fight. Steve Claggett, even though he has a lot of losses, I thought Claggett showed me a lot against Lopez. People, I think real fight fans understand that you don't have to have a perfect record for fans to kind of respect the fight. Yes, Duarte versus Kenneth Sims Jr. Great fight. No one's talking about it. That's a tough fight for both guys. Dubois, they're showing the boys in the dude, come on, we're about to watch a heavyweight, undisputed title fight. We don't get these every day. Look at Wembley, 90,000 people. Usyk, Dubois 2, come on. How off? Dude, when we're about to get an undisputed heavyweight title. All right, where's your money at, boys? Where's the money at? All right, what do I got working? On my sports bet on this fight, I have that huge money line parlay with Usyk on the money line. What's he saying? Pacheco on the money line. Usyk, Picasso, Pacheco, and Bam. That was my four. Those are my locks. Usyk, Picasso, Pacheco, and Bam. Pays $1.61. I put that bet in at the beginning of the week. My guys, going into my breakdown, I broke this fight down. If you guys want to see my uninterrupted, edited breakdowns of all these fights that I feature on the channel, it's under the playlist Fight Prediction. I initially was leaning on Dubois. I kind of fell for the 27-year-old big puncher, confident champion now. Since he lost to Usyk, he's gone 3-0 with three knockouts. But then again, you kind of forget with all that. You know, he stopped Hrgovic, he stopped Jared, he stopped AJ. You still forget he's fighting Usyk. You still forget that first fight. Usyk was winning every moment of the entire fight. So what does Dubois do differently with his style? How could he win rounds against Usyk? What he has to do is catch him and land something big. He can do that. Is he going to do that? I don't think so. But he can do that. Do it, Coolio. Kulo Wango. Throw the chips in the air, flip the goddamn table over, and take them if you're willing. But I got my money on Usyk. Yeah, Okolie won a decision, Zach. Fury got robbed twice. The boys are out here dropping controversial statements. We got the Ukraine national anthem. Small bet. Worth a shot, Kulo. The odds. Kulo Wango. Like that name. I initially thought it was Coolio, but Kulo Wango. Sprinkle a little bit of that. What's the UFC parlays? Katie and Reyes Buildworks. I posted the UFC parlay. Go on my channel. Go under members. You'll see members only. I posted it last night. It's a 6-legger. I hit a 6-legger last week and a 5-legger the week before. So I see that you got that star next to you. So you're a boxing insider. All the boxing insiders will have that parlay up in our members only group. Mar the Prince. I can't turn the page yet because we got so many fights going down. I don't kiss and tell. I don't kiss and tell. I've always lived by that rule. But when I was 24 years old, I don't kiss and tell. I did one of the most beautiful women I've ever met. Her name was Marinka, Masha. She was from Ukraine. I met her in Long Beach. I was bartending at this place called Lapa Lapa, and awesome. She'd always say, "You need to go to the Ukraine." She was from Kiev. Very friendly people, gorgeous girl. I've never been to Kiev, and as of now, politically, it looks like I'm not gonna be able to get there anytime soon. But everybody I've met, people are cool no matter where you come from. You know what I mean? That's why politicians kind of screw it for a lot of us. I've rarely ever met somebody who wasn't a cool person. no matter where they come from. You know what I mean? The more you travel and the older you get and you meet people, people by nature are just good people. I truly believe that. And maybe that's me being a bit naive, or it's just the projection I've got in my life. People want to be cool, man. Okay, so KD, I look at the member post but don't see the UFC. I just posted it last night. Let me see. I just posted it last night. He's asking me about the U. Guys, could you go to my channel if you can? Because I'm streaming on my phone and I have my PC here and I have the laptop here. Could you guys make sure I posted that UFC parlay? It should be in the member. It's there. Okay, so it's there. Thanks, boxing fan. Maybe you have to refresh your channel or refresh your app. Did I post it on the right? Oh, my bad. So I gave the UFC picks to everybody. I guess our VIPs are called Johnny Says Boxing Insider, not the Johnny Says MMA and Boxing. I think that was my reasoning. But yeah, so I got to give, I don't want to take everything away. I'm a nurturer by heart. I like giving things away. I'm a coach. You know what I mean? So if you could support the channel in any way, like all the boys with the blue stars, guys, that's why they got the blue stars. It's a couple bucks a month. Also, join the Discord. The Discord's new. It's already heating up in there. I got to figure out how to use it. Okay. Costa Vittori. I like it. Yeah, there's a lot of good fights on that UFC card. There's a lot, guys. This weekend's insane. Like I said, I never miss a BAM fight. I'm excited about the Pacheco fight. Obviously, Zoo versus Fundora. It's going to be exciting. And how do you not watch Barrios versus Manny? But then Joseph Brown's on the undercard. The Prodigy, young teenage phenom. There's so many. Dude, the Fundora card's insane. There's so many good fights on that Fundora card. Gary Russell's fighting. I know Ammo, his opponent pulled out, but he's back up. How do you not tune into Manny Pacquiao? You know what I mean? I'm just not betting on it. All right, we got fire throwers. The fighters are about to be walked out, guys. What a spectacle. What a spectacle. Come on, just bring the boxers out. I'm all about Showtime and entertainment, but let's bring the boys out. Do all this. Do it before I don't know. I am a fan of, I do like showmanship, though. I loved Prince Nassim Ahmed when I was a kid. I loved Prince Nassim Ahmed's walkouts. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not against that. But this, you know what that was, though? That was the fighter having his own walkout. What's happening now with these promotional companies, the promotions have it's like the fighters no longer are enough. All right, here comes Dubois. The promotions have their own show too, not just the fighter. Dubois being walked out. He looks ready. Big boy. This is going to be a fun fight. I know some of you guys have Dubois. You sprinkled a little bit on the dog. I got Usyk on the money line. This one will make or break my predictions for the week. I'm up so far. We hit with Paul Gallen over Sonny Bill on our money line. We started there. Then we got Usyk. Then we got Zoo. Then we got Pacheco. Then we got Bam. And I think that's 5. Those are the 5 I featured. On the Stats Don't Lie predictions. Those are the ones when I miss, I really kind of get salty about, because those are my film study videos. Heavyweight undisputed. Guys, when's the last time? We don't see it all the time. Dubois' sister could crack too. Carolyn. Here we go. That's a long walkout. Damn, they're making them walk in from Big Ben. That's a long walkout. The walk from Wembley locker room to the ring is, look how big that place is. God, that's awesome. Look at that. Mate, what's that like? Football stadiums. He's like, we're going to go toast me and Fertida, me and Dana, Lorenzo. We'll toast the finest Irish whiskey and talk about packing football stadiums. We didn't come to take part. We came to take over. This is a football stadium. Lorenzo Fertida. We toast the finest of Irish whiskeys. That's an awful horrible accent. Awful. The worst, maybe. Maybe the worst Irish accent you guys have ever heard. Dubois still walking out. This is starting to seem like a meme. Like in the 1990s, growing up, you would have these parody comedies, like the Naked Gun films, with like the films OJ was in with Leslie Nielsen. Naked Gun 2.5, Naked Gun 33 1/3, and they would just be parodies of famous movies. And this seems like Dubois walking out of his locker room, and he's walking out, and he's still walking, and he's still walking, and he's still not at the ring yet. That wasn't. Maybe I'm tripping, but that walkout, that distance was insane. They're walking from Big Ben. Yeah, same. It just seems like that ring is far. I know it's a football stadium, so you know it makes sense. The ring is right in the middle of the pitch, but that seemed a bit far. They got to do Pledge Allegiances. They got to do national anthems. Yeah, that's for all you old heads like me. 80s babies know about the Naked Gun. You know about the parody references then. Usyk. Remarkable. Isn't it crazy? Here's a fun stat for you guys already knew. Sean Porter beat Usyk in the amateurs. Sean Porter from Northeast Ohio, where I come from, I think he stands at 5'5". He beat Usyk in the amateurs. Take what you will of that. I know it's the amateurs. It's like, doesn't GAR have 2 or 3 wins over Boots Ennis in the amateurs? But I just think it's a fun stat. I don't throw that stat out there for any reasoning substance other than, did you know? Guess what? Guess who beat Usyk in the amateurs? And people like, who? Sean Porter. People like, what? Yeah, Porter beat him. That's what I mean. So I'm not saying boxing math because he did. I'm just saying it's a fun sort of did you know fact. If you didn't know that, it's a fun one considering, obviously, the size differential in their pro career and how they fought in the pros. Porter was like lightning in a bottle, man. He was such a fun fighter to watch. It's kind of like, boom, electric. You know, guys like that don't come around too often, those styles like that. Yeah, I'm not talking about the analytical him winning. I'm talking about, I think I got my point across. Now, you know, if you hear that, you might think that that's a typo. If you read it, you might think that that's a typo. Is that the same Sean Porter? Yeah. Yeah, you're talking about the long parlay. Long parlay got dusted. But I'm not gonna say I take all responsibility for the long parlay. I got talked into throwing Sorenko on there by your boy Gary. I didn't break Sorenko down. I wasn't sold on Sorenko. I didn't want to bet on Sorenko Dackers, but I did, and the long parlay got dusted. Yeah, so build another one, brother. Build another one right now and just remove Sorenko. If you want to have fun with it. It should, like I said, my channel, I didn't build this platform to try to tell you guys to get rich on betting. My platform is started, my intention is the love of the game. I only started doing predictions and parlays because of you guys. So the channel's actually evolving because of you guys. How you all got for this one? I got Usyk on the money line, boys. There's just something about Usyk's presence that how do you not respect? There's very rarely you see a fighter where it's sort of universal respect. You know what I'm saying? he kind of commands that with how he operates, the charisma, um, his character. It's tough to go at this level, guys, with so much at stake. It's tough to go against the boxer. You know what I mean? For me, it's tough for me to put even a dollar against Usyk based off of how he goes about his business, how he operates, where his mind is, his focus. But if you guys are sprinkling, sprinkle something on Dubois, mate. Dubois, bigger, younger, more powerful. He goes about his business way differently. Are we going to see Usyk on the canvas? There's a knockdown prop that you might be able to get. I got Usyk on the money line. And then when's our... So we got the UFC starting. The UFC doesn't start for another 2 hours. If you guys didn't get my parlay, the parlay is up. Guys, like this video. Subscribe. Let me know who you got, Usyk or Dubois. The fighters are both in the ring now amongst... Everybody's in the ring. There's probably, you know, your 50 people in the ring right now. Yeah, I do. Same, brother. I got that knockdown too. One knockdown on a separate parlay. Usyk on the money line on a heavy parlay. I've parlayed, I think I got $1.64 on a really heavy ticket. Usyk, Pacheco, Bam, Picasso. I put that bet in on Monday. Yeah. Great point, Sorrell. Great point. Well, he's already sweating. You want that sweat. That's from the warm-up, the shakeout in the locker room. If anything, you know, you want your guy to be sweating as he gets into the ring. You want him to be... Some guys sweat more than the others, though. It really comes down to, you know, sweating by nature. There's a lot of different factors which make people either sweat more or less. But equating that optic to either being warmed up and ready to go, usually that happens from hitting pads, you know, getting on your toes in the locker room. You don't want to come out cold. You don't want to come out flat. Think about Floyd versus Tevin. It looked like, you know, say what you will, don't take anything away from Floyd. He came out like a marauder, but it, you know, I don't have video footage, but I wonder what Tevin was doing in the back. It looked like he was flat. It looked like he was cold. It didn't, you know, at this stage of the game, at this level, you got to come out warm. You got to come out ready. Maybe, and if you have the cardio, you know, I know some guys who put a round or two. They actually bring guys into the locker room. At least one of my old roommates fought in the UFC. It was a girl, and before her fight, she would, you know, you would grapple a little bit, you'd hit pads a little bit, you'd get warm, you know, put a round timer on, that sort of thing. You don't want to just get called out and just be like, all right, let me warm up in round one. It's a pretty risky thing. Everybody has their own systems, though. Everybody, just like any sport, there's going to be superstitions that go along with each fighter, each athlete. Wembley. Damn, man. That's some... I want to see a fight in Wembley. I want to see I'm not even a soccer fan. I want to see a soccer match in Wembley. I want to go to the UK or Europe and see a Premier League game. I want to see a World Cup game. I don't know anything about soccer. I don't watch soccer, but I went to a Sydney FC versus Tottenham Hotspurs game in 2016 here in Sydney at one of the football stadiums. 90,000 people. It was insane. The energy was insane. So I'm like an energy guy. Being in that crowd, the chants, wild. I was also at a LA Galaxy versus Michoacan game in 2000, I think, 7 or 8 in LA. When the Galaxy were new, the stadium only holds, I think, maybe 5,000 people. That energy was insane as well. So when I see Wembley Stadium, I think English Premier League soccer. Those crowds are insane. Michael Buffer's 132 years old. Legend Michael Buffer. You know, Bruce, I interviewed Bruce Buffer before on my first podcast. Bruce Buffer found out that he was brothers with Michael Buffer by watching him on TV. They were long lost brothers. The craziest thing about that story, Bruce was already doing announcing. And so just happened to be the two most popular announcers in combat sports, had never met, and they were both had the last name Buffer, and they didn't know they were brothers. Look up that. That is an insane, another fun fact. Add that to the list of, did you know who beat Usyk in the amateurs? Be like, did you know that Bruce Buffer found out that he had a brother by watching another guy with the last name Buffer on TV? And then he reached out to him. And then he became his manager. So once they connected, Bruce was the man behind Michael copywriting Let's Get Ready to Rumble. So Bruce was always an entrepreneurial guy. Also a legit-ass black belt. Bruce Buffer's a legit-ass martial artist, too. A great surfer. He moved from New York to Southern California, I think in his teens. Was always hustling, selling like necklaces on the seashore sort of thing. And then constantly doubling down with his entrepreneurial mind, martial arts training, eventually ends up in the UFC octagon guy. Yeah, he called the Jack Dempsey fight. He called Homicide Henry Armstrong. He called Hank Armstrong's last title fight. He's one of my favorite fighters. Is there a better nickname in boxing than Homicide Hank? That for me, it doesn't get much better. Especially when you're a knockout artist, knocking guys out in like 4 different divisions. He's a golden era fighter, if you guys aren't aware. Go to Henry Armstrong's Box Rec. His nickname was Homicide Hank. Amazing fighter. You can see old footage of him on YouTube. All right, guys, here we go. Let's get to business. Let's get this money. I want you guys keeping me up to date on how the commentary is calling it, too. Because I always find that interesting. Yeah, so N3LU. What you do, though, is you watch the big screen. So even at the fights Wednesday night, I was at Sydney. We were in the 5th row for the Sydney fights, and the ring is right in front of us. I still just watch the big screen. It's weird. I pay, all this money. Oh, nice jab by Usyk. Pops Dubois' head back. Dubois on the front foot. Usyk, obviously, he's going to be looking to counter. I got to see more head movement from Dubois, but Dubois looks like, with his intent, his game plan, Dubois is going to put himself in the fire. I like it so far. Yeah, Dubois we could already see Dubois not here to play around, boys. He's going to put himself in the fire. You can see right off the bat he's going to go for it. And I like it. We'll see if it pays off for him. That first 30 seconds was like, all right, I'm going to put myself right in front of this big dude, and I'm going to walk him onto my right hand. And if I get caught, I get caught. We'll see how this settles down. Usyk with a nice jab. Usyk with a nice body cross. Usyk's the more active fighter, as always. That marauding... Oh, backhand by Dubois stuns Usyk. It's a good start. A minute gone in the first round. A lot of volume, a lot of action. Already more action than the last fight. This is very interesting, their game plans. It's already compelling. Nice step-in jab from Usyk. Dubois' jab looks sharp, looks fast, faster than I remember. Dubois now taking a step back on his toes. We'll see how long he can stay on his toes. I don't like that right hand he just threw. He forced it. Dubois needs to not showcase that right hand. He needs to set it up with the jab, because if he throws that naked again, Usyk's going to counter him. Nice jab, nice right hand by Dubois. I like his willingness to get on the front foot. I said it already. It's definitely a sign of a more confident fighter. Ooh, swings and misses. Usyk slips out, a bit slippery. We'll see if Usyk can keep his movement up. He is 38 years old now. Dubois, the younger guy, at 27. The power advantage on Dubois. Usyk's brushing his left eye. Might have got touched. It's bothering him. There's a little bit of swelling under that left eye already. Usyk does not look comfortable in there. I don't know if he got caught with something that I didn't see. 50 seconds left in the first round. He's brushing at right under that right eye. I didn't see what punch it was. 45 seconds left. He seems like he's all right now. Slips the jab. A lot of action, a lot of intent. Both guys do look a bit stiff, though. They need to loosen up in there. Dubois putting it on. Puts Usyk in the corner. Usyk has to get out of the corner. 30 seconds left in the first. He circles out. Good lateral movement. Usyk kind of gives him a smile. That always tells me that you felt something you didn't like. Whenever you see a fighter smile at his opponent, it's usually because he got touched with something. 20 seconds left. Dubois is fighting much more confidently here, guys. Oh, a big left hand by Usyk. Backs Dubois up. Dubois is on the back foot. 10 seconds left. That's a perfect example of Usyk asserting his dominance. Like, hey, if you're going to land something big, I'm going to land something big. And it forced Dubois to step back. They're standing, exchanging in the middle. What a first round. Let's go. That was a fun first round. We'll see if I have the stamina to keep that up. Forget the fighters. We'll see if I can keep that up. Fun first round. A lot going on there. I love the approach from Dubois. Yeah, Usyk gives you so much. He gives you so much. And what Usyk does with that lead hand, he kind of circles his hook here. Kind of, not as much as Bivol, because Bivol will actually, throw it like that. Usyk does a lot of it, kind of like feints it, like that sort of thing. That circle hook. That was a fun round. How did you guys score in it? 1-0 Usyk? I ain't mad at it. Fun round. Like I said, we'll see. Sometimes guys get old right in front of us in terms of, he looks great, and then all of a sudden they have that one fight and they're like, well, he's so-and-so age now. We should have seen that come. We'll see if that's the case with Usyk at 38. Because he does rely on a lot of lateral movement. Round 2 starts. Here we go. Definitely Kingdom. I'll let you know. Dubois just walked onto a backhand. He's back on the front foot. Round 2 is underway. Usyk's using his lateral movement. Nice slip. Exits out. Dubois on his toes. Nice shot. Dubois looks good, man. Dubois looks good, dude. 27. It's good to see a 27-year-old leveling their game up. Like I said, win, lose, or draw. Even if Dubois loses his fight, he's leveled. You can see him leveling up with his confidence. You can see his style on his toes. Doesn't look as stiff. You can see the work he's been putting in. It's just, will that work be enough to beat a guy like Usyk? He's probably standing in front of an all-time great. We know that. A minute gone in the second round. Usyk drops level, lands a body shot. Dubois counters over the top. Dubois' reflexes look like they're sharp, sharp as ever. Usyk's circles out. The one thing I don't like what Dubois does is when he throws his backhand and he moves at the same time, his footwork, you kind of see flaws in his footwork when he comes forward and he throws a right hand at the same time. It doesn't look balanced. It's something to look for because sometimes when you're punching with a puncher as well and your feet aren't planted, you could get caught off balance, and that sometimes you get knockdowns that way. 90 seconds left in the second. So once again, the game plan from Usyk forced Dubois to come in, and he's playing. Oh, big left hand by Usyk. Gorgeous counter. So Dubois has been running in kind of recklessly, and Usyk has been catching him. He's been running in, not setting his offense up with the jab. He'll jab from distance and then run in, and then Usyk has countered him. What you want to do is jab, jab, and move your feet. Then you're in, you're already entered, and then you throw. So he's kind of rushing his work by that sense, Dubois is. But I like his intent, more importantly. I like his body language. I like the confidence he's fighting with. Usyk is just doing what Usyk does, using sharp counters, using his opponent's aggression against him. Not a lot of body work yet. It's only the second round. 40 seconds left in that second round. The fight's happening in the middle of the ring right now. A lot of action so far. These are heavyweights, guys. It's a fun fight. Dubois now flat. Dubois misses with an overhand. I think Dubois would be wise to try to start investing in the body. Usyk is what Usyk is doing is he's dropping a level and he's landing his backhand. Oh, nice counter by Usyk. He's dropping a level and landing that backhand to the body on Dubois. Usyk is backing Dubois up. He hit him with a counter. So what we're seeing, a nice step-in jab. Usyk ends the round with some nice accurate punching there. 2 in the books. So something we're seeing is Usyk is baiting Dubois and coming in, and Usyk is using Dubois' technical flaws defensively against him and using his own accuracy to counter. That was a gorgeous hook Usyk landed at the very end of that round. Yeah, that counter. Jeez, chinchilla, right? God damn. There's no... a boxing coach would say there's no fat on it. It's just no fat on it. It's not like that one. It's... And somebody mentioned it. The first round, Dubois, it's that. They're showing the replays. God damn, Dubois. Dubois is running in like that. That's so bad technically. There's a lot of technical flaws in Dubois' attack, right? So there's different moments of the fight where the fight takes place, and what we're seeing is when Dubois is attacking in his entering of the pocket, hands are down, head's on the midline, and he's getting tapped every single time. Third round has started. Oh, nice right hand by Dubois. Backs Usyk up. Dubois thinks he has him hurt. Dubois, pushes him. The ref warns Dubois for pushing. Dubois not on his toes anymore like he started the fight. He's flat-footed. Like we said, it'd be tough for a guy his size to continue that style when he's not used to it, on his toes. He's standing in front of Usyk now. That's a tough game to win against Usyk regarding his... Oh, big right hand by Dubois. Usyk eats it and wears it well. Usyk's much more flat-footed now. Dubois backing Usyk up. Intriguing moments right here. 2 minutes left in the third. Dubois going for it. He thinks he has Usyk hurt. Usyk responds with a nice jab. Backs Dubois up. Some good moments for Dubois early here in the third. Dubois throws a half-hearted jab to the body. Dubois steps in, misses with a 1-2. Usyk exits right. 90 seconds left in the third. Good round by Dubois so far. Usyk's trying to assert himself in the last half of this round with the jab. You know what's happening here is the first 2 rounds, Usyk would use the... Oh, big left hand by Usyk! Stuns Dubois. Caught him perfectly coming in. Oh, another left hand lands. Dubois wears it well, circles out. That was a gorgeous setup by Usyk, though. Prodding that jab, double, just tapping. Dubois initially wasn't buying it. He was staying on the outside. Then he couldn't help himself, comes in and gets counter with a big left hand. That was gorgeous work by Usyk. I think it's enough to swing the round. He was down early, but the last 30 seconds, Usyk's been landing some big shots on Dubois running in. 30 seconds left in the third. Man, when Usyk is cooking, he is fun to watch. And, he's technical and clean, but he's not always... It's not like he takes the safest approach either. You know what I mean? He puts himself... He punches with you. Nice exchange by Dubois. 15 seconds left in the third. Dubois lands as a right hand. Usyk exits. They're in the center of the ring. Usyk still moving his head. Lands a 1-2. Lands a nice jab on Dubois' head. Nice slip and rip by Usyk. Interesting round, guys. That could go either way. Dubois was winning that round early. Usyk started landing the bigger and cleaner shots late. What a great fight. What a great fight. I'm here for it. That was a better round by Dubois, but I still think Usyk landed the bigger shots. I could see how you could give it to Dubois based on how it started, but Usyk's step back catch and counter was gorgeous. Over the top. God damn. Yeah, and so Usyk is using Dubois' aggression against him. It was interesting to watch. As that round was progressing and Dubois was up, before Usyk landed that big backhand of his, Dubois wasn't falling for it. He was the game and the trap that Usyk set was just the pawing double, and Dubois wouldn't bite. And then you could almost see Dubois' killer instinct. He couldn't wait long. He couldn't wait any longer, and he ran in, and Usyk hit him. It was interesting to see. That's a fight IQ issue, to be honest with you. That's controlling your emotions. That's being patient. Dubois really keen right now, which a sharp counterboxer like Usyk, you got to be careful, man. It's only the 4th round. If you're Dubois, I would kind of, I don't want to say don't change the aggression, but change the tactics in terms of where you choose to throw your shots. He's engaging and unloading when his feet aren't under him. You know what I'm saying? If you're gonna fight this way against Usyk, you need to already be all the way in or all the way out. They both landed a good shot here. A minute gone in the fourth. Because Usyk's landing his best work when Dubois is trying to come all the way in. He's not in yet. And his hands are down, his head's up, eyes are all big like he's just seen, you know, something he likes. And then, boom, Usyk's making him pay. 2 minutes left in the fourth. Oh, Dubois hit. Dubois' legs. Another jab lands by Usyk. Based on the camera angle, I couldn't really tell if Dubois was stunned there, but his legs don't look like they're 100% right now. I don't like Dubois' legs, guys. I think he might get stopped here. I think Dubois hurt. 90 seconds left in the fourth. I don't know if Dubois has a poker face on. Something doesn't look right in his legs. 90 seconds left in the fourth. It looks like either he's... Oh, another one. I don't know if Dubois has a great poker face, but I don't like... Maybe... Are you guys seeing what I'm seeing with his legs? A minute left in the fourth. Because I didn't see anything big land. And, you know, his offense has definitely waned. His output is way lower than what it's been. There he is. Steps in with the right hand. Usyk's in the corner. This is a dangerous game to play with a 6'5" big puncher. Usyk is playing a dangerous game there, staying in the corner with a 6'5" big puncher in front of you, waiting for him to make a mistake, you counter and exit. That just is a testament to how skilled Usyk is and how much confidence he has in his skills and his ability. 35 seconds left in the fourth. There's a body rip. Usyk said it was low. Dubois was waiting for that. Usyk smiled at him. Elbows are tighter now. Nice body rip from Dubois. 20 seconds left in the fourth. Oh, a nice backhand from Usyk. Step in right down the pipe. Another left hook by Usyk. Oh, Dubois clinching, holding on. Usyk round. There's something weird happening in that first minute. I didn't see anything huge land. But it really affected Dubois' legs. 3-1 Usyk. I'm not mad at that. Are they going to... no, that's the body shot. No. Oh, they're showing the body rip again. Round 5, guys. 7:30 a.m. Sunday morning here in Sydney. Wherever you are, welcome to the channel. Like this video. Hit subscribe if you haven't. Let me know how you're scoring this. Round 5. Big right hand by Dubois. Usyk wears it well. The thing that makes Usyk really tricky, why he always seems to have good punch resistance, is because of his perpetual movement. He's never stationary. When a fighter is planted and their feet are static and they get hit with something big, they're going to absorb more of that punch than if they're moving with it and rolling with it. It's the whole, you know, life analogy of roll with the punches. Don't just sit there and take it. And that's something Usyk does really well with his style. So even when somebody does land something big on him, he's kind of always moving and nothing really is rattling him too much. A minute gone in the fifth. Usyk lands something big. Dubois takes a step back. Dubois looks hurt. Dubois punching back though. We know when Oh, they're exchanging. Usyk's playing a dangerous game in the corner. Dubois down. We hit our parlay, boys. Knockdown prop. I just need Usyk on the money line. We eating. And here the ghosts, the demons start creeping in now, guys. Watch the body he's done. He can't come back from this. Oh! 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 God damn, it's a brutal sport. God damn, it's such a brutal sport, boys. This is such a brutal sport. Oh, I feel for Dubois. God, our boy Usyk's up, but God, we cast, we eating. Damn, Usyk's so good. I just feel for guys, man. Like, even though we won, even though it's easy money, you could just see Dubois. You saw Dubois wasn't coming back after that first one. You saw it here. You could see it, guys. Damn, it's such a brutal sport. I know these guys are millionaires, and they're like, Johnny, this is their choice. But the empathetic side of me is seeing, you look at the winners, you look at the losers. Dubois is just devastated. What a fight! Yeah, man. Usyk is that dude, guys. What a fight. Yeah, Dubois got knocked out. And it's what we were talking about. It's just that from that first fight, what you're dealing with Usyk is a technical master, but he doesn't, most guys who are super technical, they're not going to put themselves in harm's way. Usyk is a dog. He's technical and he's a dog. Look, he ran up on it. I called this in the second round, dude. The live stream, the chat, you guys tuned, like, this is, I said that was, dude, Dubois can't run in. You either have to be all the way in or all the way out. Dubois is cutting the distance like this. Like a slow motion, like what are you doing, dude? Because he looked good at range. He looked good early, but he's, but Dubois a dog, and he was just too keen. You got to be more patient. Don't rush your work. Don't get sloppy with your work. He didn't want to get up. I told you, that first one. Usyk is a goddamn dog. I told you he quit. We talk about it on the channel all the time, guys. Not every fighter could be the nail. Some fighters can only be the hammer. I talked about that in my breakdown of this. I mentioned the Mike Tyson reference. When Dubois got dropped the first time, it was over. It wasn't even the biggest of shot. You saw it in his eyes, his body language. It's tough to come back. It's so hard to pin Usyk down, mate. We up. Look at Dubois just dejected. You just gotta feel for him. Usyk is a dog, dude. Right? Skeezy, Perth in the house. He could have. He didn't want to, history. He didn't want to. This is such a game here. You picked Usyk. High interest. Let's go, high interest. Thanks for getting up. He got up. The knockdown prop bets. All right, PBC, UFC. Guys, I got to get something to eat. I got to train. I have a 10K. I get to run a 10K. I'm going to coach my girlfriend. She's coming over to the gym. So I'm going to coach her. I'm going to run now, coach her. I'm going to eat. And then I'm going to a French food festival. Don't get offended for what I'm about to say. Anybody. But when I say this is about my mentality. If you guys really knew me, all I do is think about food. I love food, and it takes everything in me to not, indulge. There's a French food festival that happens once a year in Sydney. It's called the Bastille Fest. Oh, God. These custard tarts. They have paella, which isn't French, but it's Spanish, but that'll be there. They have this garlic bread on this garlic toast with fresh prawns on it, dude. Come on. What else am I getting? Cheese. Let's go. All right, guys. If I get back in time, I'll be streaming the BAM fight. If not, like this video. Guys, join our Discord. It's new. You see the boys with the stars next to their name on the live stream? They are Johnny Says Boxing Insiders. Join on the channel. It's a couple bucks a month. You get insights, insiders. You get access to the Discord. And let's go. I'm definitely watching it, Vega, but I might be watching it walking around a food fest on my phone, and my girl will be like, Johnny, I need your full attention. Stop looking at your phone. I'm like, Christina, I'm here with you at least. At least I'm here. So we'll see. We'll see if I can get back. But Katie Reyes, appreciate all the support. Let's go. Good luck to the rest of the weekend. Good start for us. Good start for us, for the channel. Good start for our bets, for our parlays. Kudos to Usyk. Hats off to Dubois. He's only 27. I'm a coach at heart. I'm a coach. It's hard for me to watch guys get stopped. Like, I'm a fan of Dubois. You know what I mean? I think he has a lot of upside. He'll pick himself back up, but it's here, boys. It's here. We could talk. We could talk all we want about how tough or how big of a puncher somebody is, but when you're facing a guy like Usyk, who is a lifelong technician, and please, when you talk about Usyk, you got to talk about his willingness to be in a dogfight. You can't just talk about a technician. You can't just talk about a guy who has clean, crisp counterboxing. You got to talk about a dog, because he's also a dog, dude. That's what. Come on, undisputed. We got to watch history. Let's go.